Hey guys, I'm here to talk to you today about the time where I had to not only come out of one, but two closets. What a lot of people don't understand is that when you're transgendered, most times, more likely than not, you have to come out of two closets rather than just one. What I mean by coming out of two closets rather than just one is, for example, my coming out story. When I first came out to my family, it was when I was 14. It was a year after we just moved to America from Puerto Rico. I started high school in America, and it was a very simple day. It wasn't something that was planned, and usually when people come out to their parents, most times it's random. It's usually not planned. Most people get caught and stuff like that, but I thank God didn't get caught in anything like that. My first time coming out to my parents was actually only to my mom. My dad was living in Puerto Rico. He was, he's a Fed, so he spent a lot of his time in Puerto Rico when we moved out here for the first time. I was on my way to school one morning. I used to take the bus to go to school, so that morning I left through the back entrance of my house. It's something that I usually do, to go to the bus when I walk to the bus stop. On the way to the bus stop, a lot of Spanish people know what this is. It's cuando tu espalda te coge aire. Like, my back caught air. It makes sense when you're Spanish, but I don't know how you explain that in English. My back caught air and it started hurting really bad. Usually when stuff like that happens, a good massage and a nice hot shower will get rid of it in a couple hours. It hurt severely. Like, it hurt so bad that I couldn't move right or left. Like, I didn't want to walk. So I turned around and I went back to my house. When I got back to my house, I told my mom, hey, my back hurts. Could you give me a back massage and then drop me off at school? She was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. She sits down on the living room couch, and then I laid down on the couch with my head on her lap, and she starts massaging my back, talking to me while she's massaging my back and whatever. And she's all like, oh, why don't you ever bring boys to the house? Why have you never talked about boys? Are you interested in anybody? Is there anybody that you like? Why don't you bring anybody over? Why don't you introduce anybody? Stuff like that, you know, asking typical mom to daughter questions. I just sat there and heard her talking. I don't know what made me decide this in that moment. I really don't remember my thinking. I think it kind of just came out, and then I was just like, well, I said it, and, you know, let's deal with the consequences right after I said it type thing. I don't know what proned me to say this. After she asked those questions, I was like, oh, it's because I like both. She was like, hold up, both? What are you talking about, both? You can't like both. You either like one or the other. There's no both. I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I like both. I like both men and women. And she was like, oh, so what do you plan to tell your father? And I'm like, the same thing I told you. Like, what do you want me to do? And she was like, oh, I'm calling him right now. Beep, 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 beep. Miguel, habla con tu hija que te tiene algo que decir. Boom. Dad, I just told mom I'm gay and she wants to kick me out the house. What do you want me to do? This is my dad on the other side. Put your mom on the phone. So I give my mom the phone, and then she starts crying hysterically, saying all these type of stuff. She went upstairs crying about, oh, what does she think? That she's gonna bring that kind of behavior into my house? Da, 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 da. And then I just sat in the couch like, well, I need to think about who I can call today so I can stay at their house, because I think I'm gonna be homeless. She's gonna throw me out. I'm gonna lose everything. Now I gotta think about what I need to do. What am I gonna do with my life? What about school? Am I gonna need to drop out? Like, this all, like, in the 5-10 minutes that she left me downstairs by myself, like, that's all me. That's all I was, like, thinking about, what I was gonna do with my life. And she came back down, didn't say a word to me, and she took me to school and dropped me off, and it was never spoken about again for a long time. The only reason that I came out as bisexual to my mom the first time was because I didn't know how she'd react with me just saying that I was lesbian and that I only liked women. So I took the easy way out, which a lot of gay people do, and they say that they're bisexual the first time they come out. yeah, after that, our relationship kind of changed. It was kind of like a mild hatred, mild disappointment. It was weird. It was a lot. There's a lot going on in that circle. The first time me coming out to my parents, though, was way easier than the second time. We'll get to that. My second coming out story, the second time I came out of the closet, was when I told my family that I was trans.
Will you still love me?